Is YouTube too crowded? Is my niche too crowded? I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the connections in order to succeed on YouTube. Maybe you've heard these things before. Maybe you've thought these things before. Today, we're going to be looking at some of these comments, thoughts, and what I would call myths about YouTube. We're going to be busting them and disproving 6 popular YouTube myths that hold a lot of people back from success, and really talking about what are the elements of success on YouTube in 2020 and beyond. But hey, if you're just joining the show, my name is Sean Cannell, and this is Coffee with Cannell. I'm sipping on some Nespresso, a little Pete's coffee there. And this is the show where for the first 15 minutes, we drop some content, some strategies so you can get your mind right, your grind on, your hustle fixed, so you can grow your influence leveraging online video, digital marketing, and social media right now. And then in the second part, I bring you on the show so we can talk all about what's happening in your life, business, and answer your online video and YouTube questions. If we are just meeting, I wrote a book with my friend Benji called YouTube Secrets, #1 best-selling YouTube strategy book. Run a couple YouTube channels, and am deeply passionate about helping 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with online video. So hit the like button if you're fired up for today. And man, we got to get real with some myths. And I don't know if you've heard any of these. Let me know. What is the biggest excuse you tell yourself about creating content on YouTube or success on YouTube? Let me know. What is the biggest excuse that you are telling yourself? Is it that I don't have enough time? Is it that I don't have enough money? Is it that I don't have enough connections? Is it that I don't have enough? What is the biggest excuse, if you'll be so bold and so honest, that holds you back from success on YouTube in your mind? Let me know. And it's good to see Lisa and Bridget and Tom here. We're going to be looking at some YouTube myths, and I've got a couple of these, and let me know if you've ever heard some of these before. And so one is YouTube is too crowded. Have you ever thought that before? YouTube is too crowded. Have you thought about that? Like, is it too late? There's just so many people, it's too crowded. That's a big one. It's a big myth that I've heard about YouTube. Let's see. How about money? I don't have enough money to start YouTube. I don't have enough money to create content. I don't have enough money for a camera. I asked you some questions on Twitter. If we're not connected, at Sean Cannell, rhymes with YouTube channel on Twitter, Instagram, the community tab over on Think Media. And I asked, what are some of your biggest challenges right now? And some people said, my gear, like I need a computer. I don't have the right equipment, which would be like a money thing, right? So let me know what are some things that are maybe things that happen for you. Let's look at this though. When it comes to answers to those, YouTube is too crowded. Well, did you know that half the world is on social media right now? Yeah. We just looked this up, right? 3.8 billion people use social media right now. And that is, by the half of the year, they said that the world's total population would be using social media by the middle of the year. Wow. And so is YouTube crowded? I'm not saying it's not crowded. Is it too crowded? Nah, it's not too crowded. It's not a matter of how many people, it's not just how many people are creating, how many people are consuming, and more people are coming online all the time. I read a Huffington Post article that talked about the coming surge as more people get online, as 5G, as mobile phones, as the internet covers the earth, that more and more people are coming online. Over 2 billion monthly active users on YouTube. So is YouTube too crowded? Well, yes, there's crowds. But is it too crowded? It's not too crowded. People are having success every day. A good question is for all the aspiring authors, all the aspiring writers. How many books are published every year? And actually, I was going to look it up. I didn't look it up before. How many books are published each year? And here's what's crazy. Whoa, 1 million. There's somewhere between 600,000 and 1 million books published every year in the US alone. Now, does that mean it's difficult to stand out in that with your book, of course, but it doesn't mean it's impossible, because why? Every single year there's best selling books. Every single year there is breakout books. So really, as we talk about these 6 myths, the question isn't really, are they like real? Like, they, sure, you could say them, but they're more than really myths. They're more kind of like excuses, aren't they? Okay, let's talk about them. So is YouTube too crowded? Money. Well, money is not really a limitation or something that can hold you back, because you could just use your smartphone. And that's what I asked this person. I said, well, what kind of phone do you got? And they're like, an iPhone 11. I was like, what kind of limitation do you think you're and I understand maybe your smartphone's not that good, but they're like, yeah, I got an iPhone 11. I was like, that thing will crush some video. I don't know if you've watched our smartphone video series that Heather Torres did with me on Think Media, but like, we'll show you step by step how to record on your phone, edit on your phone, shoot a thumbnail on your phone, upload from your phone. That's all you need. Now, again, you literally might be, you're like, Sean, I am locked in a dungeon with no internet, no phone, no money. To which point I would say, how are you on this Coffee with Cannell stream right now? I mean, that would be my next question. And so, of course, like, there's certain, and not even to make light of like deeply oppressive situations, but like, if I'm here to kill your excuses today on Coffee with Cannell, man. I'm bringing you a quad shot of excuse murder. Like, let's just tear these things apart. Jim Rohn said, excuses are the nails used to build the house of failure. Ouch. Jim, dog, come on, bro. Excuses are the nails used to build the house of failure. I'm here to bust these myths, man. These are just myths. All right. How about talent? Can you succeed on YouTube with absolutely no talent? Of course not. But like, YouTube is not Hollywood. So you might say, I just don't feel like I have enough charisma. I don't feel like I have the right amount of talent. And to which I would say, if somebody else that looks like you, sounds like you, is from your background, is around your ethnicity, age, has made it on YouTube, you can too. Do you need to grow you might need to learn some skills. You're going to need to. You might need to grow in talent. You probably will. But you just say, I don't got the skills. Learn them. I love the book title, that hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. You know what I've learned about a lot of talented people? Lazy, man. Entitled. Talented, entitled, because they rest on their talent. It's like the tortoise and the hare. That hare, anybody remember that story? Shout me out in the comments. The hare was cocky. The hare was like, dude, I got the speed. I got the talent. I'm good to go. And so it went to his head, and the tortoise in the meantime just hustled, one foot in front of the other, never gave up. I'm here to kill your excuses. Okay. So we're talking about myths. Let me know if you've ever thought any of these, and really, if you bring authenticity and value, you can overcome that lack of talent. Of course, get better, but people on YouTube connect with real. Like like Craig Rochelle says, we want leaders that are always real, not leaders that are always right. I love 2020, to be honest. You're like, you love 2020? Yeah, because of social media, because social media promotes authenticity. When people are really real, you know what works is more like, you don't need your videos to be over polished. You need them to be real. Authenticity and value. All right, I don't got enough time. This is a legitimate one. I mean, I'm still going to destroy it, but it's legitimate. A lot of you are probably like, okay, when can I find time to film without the kids being loud? When can I find time to, with school and with work and so, yes, okay, this is a challenging one. Not enough time. But the question really becomes, are you going to make time? Like, save the excuses. It's not about having time. It's about making time. If it matters, you will make time. Period. So maybe you got to think outside of the box. Can you be like, hey, grandma, can you take the kids every Saturday? Hey, mom, can you take the kids every Saturday? And that's the day that you shoot, edit, and you do your thing. Like, your dreams are up to you. You can either make excuses or get results. I'm not saying it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it to invest, to build your side hustle. But people say there's not enough time. I look, that's why I'm so grateful that the chief operation officer and one of the content creators, host of the Think Marketing podcast, Heather Torres, is part of the Think Media team, because she kills my excuses. She's juggling 3 kids, running a team of 12 people at Think Media. She's, taking care of her health. She's taking care of her spirit and her relationship with God. She's being a friend. She's doing the stuff. How'd she figure it out? She had to get disciplined. That's what she teaches all of us at Think Media. We're like, Heather, show us your ways. We're all learning calendar blocking, learning freaking time management, learning to take, because we go, well, I didn't have enough. This is like me. This is how I talk. Oh, Heather, but I was so, and she's like, Sean, did you schedule it? What gets scheduled gets done. Are you gonna make excuses, or are you gonna get results? So where there's a will, there's a way. Like, all I'm saying, and look, it's not about your resources, it's about your resourcefulness. Okay? So I get time is scarce. That is a limited resource for you. Well, then you better start getting resourceful to figure out how you're going to get it done. Some of you got money burning holes in your pocket. Not a lot of you. You're like, who's that person? Can I have some of their money? But some of you got money. Well, why don't you hire some? You're trying to edit your own videos. Why don't you hook up with VidChops? ThinkMediaTools.com. We got a discount for you. They'll help you edit your videos. It's not even that expensive. You really believe, like, you want to treat this seriously? Where there's a will, there's a way. It's not about your resources. It's about your resourcefulness. This is Coffee with Cannell. If I'm pushing your buttons, then please push the like button. Let me know what you're drinking, where you're watching from. We're going to get to your questions in just a second, but we're busting 6 myths. I'm sipping on espresso, and I got a quad shot of excuse devastation rolling through your town right now. I'm driving the excuse monster truck, crushing your little Kia. Wow. Sean's fired up. We got to kill these things. These are not helping you. Okay. Only takes a few hours a week. Well, Sean, I have to shoot. I got to shoot my video, and it takes 20 hours, and then I have to edit it for 40 hours. And then I have to worry and complain for another 20 hours. And then I call my best friend and I complain to her for 40 hours. Well, cool. You're based on that current setup, you don't have enough hours. But maybe if you stopped complaining and started working, you could actually get some videos done. Maybe if you simplified your videos down a little bit. I don't know. I got 48 strikes. Hopefully you jump on Coffee with Cannell today. Well, let's kill some excuses. We'll find a way. Let's make a plan. Let's find a solution. We can either find solutions or we can study the problems. I see you're analyzing the problem, studying the problem, looking about it from, hey, Mom, I just kind of am here to talk about my problems. Oh, honey, it's going to be okay. Dude, you don't need your mom. You need Coffee with Cannell to say, stop the excuses. Love my mom. But I'll tell you what, my mom's always there to listen to me whine and complain. She goes, you want a little cheese with your wine? Because that's what moms are for, man. She brings the love and the empathy. I'm here to bring you the tough love, the hardcore love. And you need it because we got to get some videos done, because we got to build our influence right now, because we got to protect our families, build our future. I'll speed up. Here we go. Connections. I just don't have enough connections. Only the people that succeed on YouTube, man, they got shouted out. They got a collab. Oh, if my brother was PewDiePie, if my sister was whoever, if I got the shout out, if I got the connections, if I grew up in Hollywood, if I grew up in LA, if I could collab, if somebody was in my city, if there was a meetup near me, if I actually had, stop the madness. It's all about the content, not the connections. And look, if you've got good connections in a sick network, cool, bruh, awesome. But if you don't, make content anyways. Get on some Zoom calls, jump into some Facebook groups, or just put your head down and press the record button. Well, I saw this channel and they just blew up, and I've been working so hard for 3 years, but that channel just blew up in 3 months because I got a shout out from a connection. Well, that's probably why comparison is the thief of joy and the thief of your energy and the destroyer of your future. Because if you constantly are studying what everybody else is doing around you and what every channel is doing around you, and all your energy is going into all the channels around you, then it sounds like you're not really working on your own content, but you're working and worrying about everybody else. It's not about connections. It's about content. Well, this person over here has all the connections and they got all the time and they're a trust fund and they got so much talent and they have unlimited money and like they got started in YouTube. Well, good. I'm glad you know every detail about everybody else. How's that working out for you? What if you took all your energy, all your creative energy, all your time spent complaining, making excuses, and you invested that in creating and not complaining? Stop consuming, stop complaining, start creating. I don't want to watch Coffee with Cannell anymore. Sean's mean now. Okay, so funny. He laughs at his own jokes, and this is so weird. Come on, we got one more for you. Someone took my ideas. Oh, someone stole my idea. Dude, this is so funny. I had a URL once, like a niche URL. It wasn't like even a personal URL. It was a URL that I was just using for like a webinar thing I was doing. Idea to income.tips and idea to income.live because someone took the .com. And my friend actually, he messaged me and he's like, hey, bro, just want you to know that like that's like my thing. Like idea to income is like my thing. He might see this, whatever, you know, I love you. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? It was freaking 2020. Like, idea to income is your thing. You can't copyright a book title. You can't copyright a YouTube title. I don't think you can copyright a title. Like, go get the trademark. I didn't even make a brand. I bought a URL and had a concept of a free training. Here's my point. Dude, if you're worried about someone else stealing your idea, do you know how many people have written like the same book title? Dude, you got to just focus on building your thing. Mind your business. I'm not saying plagiarize. I'm just saying, I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Like that, like idea to income was your idea? Like that's the most generic. You know how many people have a vision statement helping you build your influence, income, and impact, which is like Video Influencers tagline? I hear that every freaking day. You go to an entrepreneur conference, every single person's tagline, like, what's your business doing? Oh, we're just helping people build their influence, income, and impact. Imagine if I went up to those people and I was like, excuse me, sir. Those were my 3 words. Benji and I started doing that 5 years ago. Dude, freaking Jim Rohn probably did it 5 years before. Tony Robbins probably did it 18. Dude, why are you so worried about what everybody else is doing? As if like the world is so small. Dude, you got to freaking build your thing. Give me a break. Someone took my ideas. Listen, it proves there's a market. If you feel like YouTube's too crowded and someone's already making the content you want to make, listen, if they got 100 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, that's proof of concept. That's proof there's a market. That's proof that people want to consume that content. And guess what? When someone wants to watch YouTube strategy or gaming content or Last of Us 2 walkthroughs, or like more people want to watch that stuff. Do you know how many freaking playthroughs of Cyberpunk 2077 there are right now? There's probably 200 and 400, 500 channels, all getting 25,000 to 50,000 views off every little thing. And you're sitting here like, well, I didn't get an early copy of the game. Somebody else got an early. Listen, you can either make excuses or get results. It's really your choice. And I hope that you're like, I'm no longer watching this show. Good. Because I want you to know that Think Media and Think Marketing, like, look, we're not going to make excuses in this community. We're going to get results. We're not going to make excuses. We're going to get results. 6 myths. YouTube's too crowded. It's not. Money. I don't have enough money. You can find money. I don't got enough talent. You can get better and you could be authentic and just add value. I don't got enough time. You can find a way. I don't got enough connections. You don't need them. You just got to create content. Someone took my ideas. Listen, it proves there's a market. You got to find a way. It's not about your resources. It's about your resourcefulness. You know, back in 2009, I was starting a business called Clear Vision Media. I didn't have any money to start a business. I got a little bit of money from a project and I bought a Canon Vixia camera. But then I wanted to stand out and be different and really jump in because the DSLR revolution started. And so the DSLR revolution, right, was back when like the 5D Mark II came out and then the 7D Canon camera came out. And I was like, oh, dang, I want like that depth of field. I want like that fire, background, blurry background type vibe and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to be able to produce really sick, depth of field and all that kind of. Clear Vision Media presents Benji and Judy's wedding, right? Because we grew up in the same small town. I made their wedding video. Benji, co-author of YouTube Secrets. How'd you learn video, Sean? Self-taught, dog. Did you go to film school? No. Nah, saved a lot of money too by not going. How'd you get it done, dog? So I wanted to get a Canon 7D, and I did. So what did I do? I got a loan. Now I'm not telling you to get to go in debt, but there's a way. So I bought a Zacuto like shoulder rig thing. I got a 7D, Canon 7D. I started watching videos. I bought a Philip Bloom tutorial DVD to learn how to use the 7D before everybody was giving away dope-free information like we do on Think Media now. Dude, I just figured a way. I remember I booked a client and I didn't even know how to use the camera yet. So I freaked out. So I started to like learn, study, grow for like 2 weeks straight, bleeding my eyes out to figure out how to get ready for a particular shoot. Oh yeah, those videos aren't even on. This is my Clear Vision Media channel. I'm telling, here it is. I got in preparation for this because it was a good job. I wanted to figure out how to actually use the camera and like set it up right. And I didn't know how. And so, I got like a light kit and I was figuring out, but all I'm saying is I got a loan. I'm not telling you to get a loan. I think you could bootstrap, pick up a shift, get a job, make more tips. My job doesn't pay me enough. Get a different job. Apply somewhere else. Save your money. Stop buying dumb stuff. Invest in your dream. Have I pushed your buttons enough yet? Hey, hit the like button if you're getting value out of today. And let me know which one of these excuses you've had before and if you've dealt with anyone. Here's a couple final thoughts for you. If you really want to do it, you do it. There's no excuses. There's only two options. You can make progress or you can make excuses. Listen, excuses will always be there for you, but opportunity won't. There's opportunity right now. You can embrace one of two choices, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Pain of discipline, you might have to stay up a little bit later to edit your videos after the kids go to sleep. Well, Sean, easy for you to say you don't have kids yet. Okay. Well, fine. It's easy for me to say. I'm about to have one. Sean Bradley Cannell coming September 18th. Let's go. My first little son. They said he was above average when they did the ultrasound. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Above average. That means he's a big boy. Good luck, Sonia. We'll be praying for you. Coming September 18th. Man, excuses will always be there. Opportunity won't. Think media, think marketing. We need to rewire our brains, our conversation. Imagine if we just didn't talk in excuses, we talked in possibilities. Imagine if we didn't see always the difficulties and the problems, we saw solutions. Imagine if we started to change our perspective, change our energy, change our emotions, and really lean in to say, leadership is about taking responsibility. It's not about making excuses. It's about taking responsibility, owning this. Look, nobody's impressed with how good your excuses are. Like, wow, those are some well-articulated excuses. You have analyzed that problem from every angle. I'm so impressed. Wow. Success occurs when your dreams get bigger than your excuses. Come on, hit the like button if you got value. Hey, today's episode is brought to you by the Video Ranking Academy. We're going to get into some Q&A in just a second and start busting excuses and looking for solutions. But those were 6 myths. It's been cool because we've been seeing so much momentum in the academy lately. And these are just some of the students getting silver play buttons. I wanted to show you Mary, and we actually have a free class. If you want to figure out how to get ahead on YouTube, you can get a free class. Listen to the C.S. Lewis quote: "You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream." Come on, no excuses. Keep dreaming, keep setting goals. And the free class is at tubeinfluence.com. I will tell you, there's a link in the description. We'll post that in the comments. But Mary joined at the end of the free class. You'll hear about what's called Video Ranking Academy. And the free class is like one free module out of there that you'll get it to masterclass. So whether you want to join the academy or not, no big deal. But definitely take the free class. So Mary joined Video Ranking Academy at 0, I'm pretty sure. Mary's Nest, traditional cooking for the modern pioneer. My God, she's growing so fast. Last time I checked, she was at like 150,000 subs. She's at 216,000 now. No bake cheese recipe. And so, you know, we hear it all the time, right? Like, it's too late to start. She hasn't been on YouTube that long. I want to say it's like 12 months or something. She started like within the last year, 2 at max. We can look. And she's shooting in her kitchen. Just doing her content right, just breaking it down. And she got her silver play button, making money, figuring things out. And so let's see what her oldest video was here. So oldest video was a year ago, my friends. In the last 12 months, Mary started posting content, and talking to her, she goes, it was kind of, Sean talks kind of fast, man. He's drinking a lot of coffee, it looks like. But I just followed the steps. I just kept posting videos. I learned the best principles. I learned the best practices. 216,000 subscribers. And congratulations, of course, to getting that silver play button to Mary. And a lot of different people are getting all kinds of different results. What's cool is there's people, it's not even about the silver play button. I was thinking about Tanya Eliza in our community. She's only got 80,000 subscribers. She doesn't grow that fast. She may never get to 100,000. She may never get a silver play button. She only makes a couple million a year and only takes like 8 weeks of vacation a year. So sometimes it's not about your numbers. It's about your niche. It's about what you're doing. But if you want to learn a little bit more about that and get a free class that is part of the Video Ranking Academy, you can watch that at tubeinfluence.com, and link in the description below if you're watching this on Think Marketing. We'll drop that in the Facebook comments as well. Hit like if you're getting value out of this video, and share this with somebody that you think maybe needs to destroy their excuses a little bit. We're going to bring on Kathy here. Kathy, welcome to Coffee Cannell. And Kathy, where are you from? What is it you do on YouTube and life business? And be honest with me. What is one excuse you've made before when it comes to YouTube?
All right, Sean, I am Kathy Walker. I am in North Carolina, and actually I used to be assistant principal. My podcast, my channel was Year of APing Dangerously. And yesterday I just got a job as a principal. So making a bit of a shift career-wise. Limitations since the lockdown, I'm actually back at work, but technology was my excuse. Not that I'm not tech savvy. I'm wearing my little lapel mic and I got light shining on me. But I've had over 30 Amazon deliveries because I'm just, I got to have that. Oh, you know what? I want that. Oh, you know what? Give me. Oh, that looks neat. Oh, you know what? I need a Canon M50. Oh, no, I need just tech overload. And I guess my question, though, is about making a change. I just started VRA. I struggle with consuming more than creating. Because I'm trying to take in the courses, trying to learn all I can, trying to play with my gadgets. You know what? My cam link just came yesterday, so I'm all over the place.
What is your YouTube channel?
Okay, I have two. One is K-Walk Comedy, KWALKOMEDY, and basically it's just my brother and I streaming weekly about pop culture. And then my professional one is called Year of APing, APing Dangerously, which is designed for aspiring and current educational leaders that I wanted to provide information in that space, and that's the one that I'm just starting. Neither one of them has followers, so I'm a baby.
Yeah. So, okay, great. And this was,
But that was just me going live,
yep.
just chit chatting.
Okay. A couple things that, I would, encourage you to do. I mean, first of all, great job at starting. I mean, great job of setting the channels up, getting some videos posted, starting messy, 5 summer reads for
Oh,
school leaders. Don't say that you have no views, because that video has 26 views. So that's pretty cool. Even though you're at the very, very beginning. There's barely any videos to measure right now, but success does leave clues. And again, 1 view, 12 views, 8 views, 1 view, 5 views, 26 views. So this kind of gives us a little bit of some of a bright spot. But even still, I just want to kind of call you back to some of the basics. When you first start on YouTube, you've got to take, you could write this down, MISA. Some people teach MIA, but we teach MISA here at Think Media. And here's what it stands for. It stands for massive, imperfect, strategic action. Taking massive, imperfect, strategic action. You kind of feel all over the place. Good. That's what entrepreneurship feels like. You kind of feel like you got all kinds of Amazon boxes coming. Good. That's what I did too. I used ordering tech as a way to procrastinate making videos back in 2009 and 10. I kept saying, you know what? I need a new lens before I put myself out there. Because I'll be honest, I was strong at leaning into video production for my business, but I was afraid to get on camera myself. What are people going to think? Fear of other people's opinions. You got to just keep taking massive, imperfect, and messy, and poop your pants scared action. But it should be strategic, and you have VRA to do that. So you want to follow the system of researching before you press record. But the one thing that I want to challenge you in terms of, now that you've started your comedy channel and you're doing live streams, is I want to challenge you to learn editing at even a basic level. I think that live streaming can be something that we lean into. That's almost like, I'm glad you're doing it, because it's showing you're punching fear in the face. You're putting yourself out there. But when we start, and everybody watching really lean into this, we should be putting out short, punchy, valuable, thoughtful videos. One of the reasons why we oftentimes don't edit is because it might take us 7 hours to edit the video, 14 hours to edit the video. But a reason a YouTube video often does really well is because what you've done is you've compressed time for the viewer. So you're actually serving the viewer more. Why? If you take an hour to explain something and there's no editing to it, the viewer doesn't get an efficient experience. But if you record for 45 minutes and edit that down into 7 minutes, really that is in service of the viewer, to be brief, be bright, be fun, be done. So this thoughtfulness of having to structure your content, having to edit your content. And so I just want to point you to the new VRA foundations in your members area, because one of the videos that we break down is very early on, is step-by-step, not knowing how to edit, having to teach yourself and learn, and editing just on her phone. Heather invested in editing this video. And so we break down about 22 different strategies and little details in this. The video has 105,000 views and is still getting views now, goes up. It's still ranked for homeschool versus public school. And this video, again, if she took 35 minutes to explain homeschool versus public school, it would have saved her time, but it wouldn't have made it as good of an experience for the viewer, and it wouldn't have 105,000 views today. So the next thing that I would recommend that you do is, yeah, it'll maybe take more time, but put out a video that you're proud of. And it doesn't need like fancy editing. It's not like, you need special effects. It's the jump cut. It's the making it efficient. It's the answering the questions quick. It's the trimming the fluff. So the more time you spend, making that content great, YouTube will reward you for that. And the last thing I'll say about that is, I heard a great communicator once. I forget who it was. It's like maybe you study communication books and whatnot, and might have been some great pastor or somebody. And they said, if you are going to give me 5 minutes to talk, I'm going to take 5 days to prepare. If you give me a half hour to talk, I'm going to take a whole day to prepare. If you give me an hour to talk, I don't need to prepare. Because if I got an hour, I can kind of just like, hey, so here's a couple things I want. You got a time to just kind of waffle. You sort of take a rabbit trail. If you got a TED talk, they prepare for weeks because 17 minutes, every word counts. You really want to dial in that content. Coffee with Cannell community. Think about, especially if a lot of your content's going longer and longer and longer, that doesn't negate the live stream. It does not negate the practice of continuing to go live and even the leveling up your skills and your talent. What I'm saying is if you want to have some breakout videos, study inside of your VRA foundations, that exact module, why I break down, and then think about how that could apply to one of your videos, because that's the edge too. We go, well, shoot, if it takes me 20 hours to get a video, and this is the thing, Heather had kids, or still does, has kids, and she was having to edit a little bit each night, a couple hours each night. It took her multiple days to edit this video to get it tight. I mean, she, she's making it interesting. She has a little black and white, zooms in a little bit, teaching herself to do it as she goes. Real basic, no lighting, shot on her phone, edited on her phone, but it was the intentionality to the structure of the whole content itself. And it took her time up front. That video has 105,000 views now. She grows her channel on autopilot because of ranked videos by 300 to 500 subscribers a month. Because when you put out good content, cream always rises to the top, no matter how many cups of coffee you pour.
Definitely. That video, I shot it and I was stalled those limiting beliefs in the editing, because I did include a couple of like a B-roll shots, and I cut to the different books, and I wanted to put up the little graphics. So there was almost a month of me kind of just, with this video where I was adding little things to it and actually, letting that be the.
I'm seeing that now.
Okay.
And actually, what's cool about that is that it's proving my point, because it's by far your best viewed video. I think it's the most interesting thumbnail. You see your energy in it. You see the text in it. And again, it's you're delivering that you're getting me the answer of what the books are. You're breaking them each down. You're popping it on screen. So yeah, then I'd say get 1% better with every upload. But that was like my biggest thing I felt in terms of talking, because even if we start out with a live show, and it's not that you can't grow a live show, but even without looking at the comedy channel, when someone doesn't know you yet, it's very hard to get them to spend any significant amount of time with you. So if you give them quick value, 3-minute videos, 4-minute videos, 5-minute videos that are they're just packed. And remember that YouTube is all about this. Make a promise with your title and deliver the promise in the video. So imagine, you think about the viewer. The viewer's like, oh my gosh, you promised me something in the title. The opposite of that is clickbait. What clickbait is promising something in the title and not delivering it in the video. You feel cheated, but you got you to click and you're kind of mad about it. Just make a promise. And so again, if someone goes, I promise that if you pay me $10, I will give you a double burger, animal style fries, and a Diet Coke. And you go, okay, great. And you pay and you sit at your In-N-Out table for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The reason I'm mad, I'm eventually going to get it. But the reason I'm mad is I didn't get my double in a reasonable amount of time. You're wasting my time. And now I'm getting hangry. I'm hungry and angry. And you're like my wife now, who gets pregnant, hungry, and angry. So I got to keep her fed. And so,
you're making all of us on the East Coast jealous because we don't have In-N-Out Burger.
Oh no, man!
We're in a bad place. Barely.
And so, anyways, again, if you promise it, be brief, be bright, be fun, and be done. Deliver that. What burger place do you have on the East Coast?
We just have the regular chains. We don't have anything like the Sonic and Mickey D's and stuff, but not In-N-Out Burger. I've been out west, and it is what it is. But hey, it's the South. We have other fried things.
You're on the East Coast. Whopper.
We can dip a Snickers in grease and fry it. So that's kind of our thing.
Well, I like that. I like that. We used to deep fry Oreos when I worked at Red Rob in the kitchen. We'd have the deep fryer, so we were deep frying stuff back there. Okay, so yeah, I would say thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate you, and
Hey,
I love that you're taking massive action.
Sean, on behalf of, I'm sure half the people commenting, we appreciate you because you give such value, and being part of VRA, I'm going to keep working, going to keep grinding all in. But the value you give through things like this, and when you guys go live, I don't know whether people let you know that is value, and we appreciate it. And again, one September baby to a future daddy of a September baby. Congratulations.
Kathy, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on Coffee with Cannell and being a part of our community.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Coffee with Cannell is the show where we answer your questions about social media, YouTube, online video, business. Gently press the like button if you're getting value out of today. We're killing excuses. We're taking action. YouTube is as simple as making a promise with your title and delivering that promise in the video. Is that easy? Not always easy. Is it worth it? Yeah, because a breakout video, remember friends, you're one video away from changing your whole life and business. It's true. There's thousands of people that can testify that like a video, one of their videos, it popped, it blew up, and that was the tipping point. It might be video 30 for you, it might be video 3 for you, it might be video 300. It's worth it to put in the work, get 1% better with every upload. And we're bringing Kyle on today. Kyle, my man, hey, where are you watching from?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. What kind of
guitars are those? What is it you do? And then do you have any excuses you've been fighting, bro? Be honest. What is one of the biggest excuses about YouTube that you tell yourself?
Yeah, so I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. These are Fender, Stratocaster, etc. Some of my favorite things. Yeah, I've got excuses. Everybody's got excuses.
Which one of the biggest excuses?
Lack of time would be my biggest one. I keep telling myself I got lack of time.
Why is that too? What's going on in your life? You got like what fills your time?
Well, you know, I'm just trying to keep up with work, spend time with my friends and family.
You single?
Especially amidst the pandemic. What'd you say?
You got single? You got kids or anything?
No, I'm actually getting married pretty soon here.
Oh, congrats.
So that's exciting. Yeah.
Planning a wedding then, that takes time.
Yeah, it does. Yep. So I'm trying to make priorities. I think that's probably the answer to my question.
Okay. How much you work a week?
Well, I work 40 hours a week for my job. And then I usually try to put in at least an hour on my website / my YouTube channel.
Awesome. So tell me about that. What is it you do? What's your channel name?
It's called Audio University. And so I went to school for audio production. I have a job doing that now, but you know, I've realized there's a lot of stuff you can learn in the job that you can get with just real world experience, but there's a lot of like more in-depth information that you can learn from school. But you know, you don't necessarily have to pay thousands of dollars to go to school. I can hopefully offer you that information just on my YouTube channel.
Man, I love that. And you're teaching cool stuff, frequency response. I like this crossover guide. I actually remember when I was getting into like subs for my car. See, man, I'll pull the picture out one of these days. This is a funny thing people don't know about Heather Torres and me. When we were both 16, 18, we were into like tricked out hot import nights, Seattle, Fast and Furious. We had Honda Civics, short shifters, intakes. We would literally go to street races. My car wasn't that fast, but I had the system right. And so I was getting the subs, RMS power with the amp, you know, and I remember we'd be setting the crossovers. So you clean that up and pull the, you know, whatever frequencies out, but I don't even know half of what you know. And so that's really cool, man. How can I help today? Like what's been going on? What's a question you have?
So, you know, I like when an informational video, you know, what is frequency response, how to place a mic on a guitar amp. I like when those are concise and short. And so I've been trying to do that with my channel. But I have a belief that there's value in long form content as well. And I'd like to kind of introduce another channel of content within my channel. I know a lot of people who know people from school. They know people in the recording industry, in the live sound industry. And with only having 1,000 channels, I was wondering how could I make it appealing to those people to maybe get them on for an interview to help give some real world experience that maybe I can't speak toward firsthand, but I can help translate to the people who want to know that sort of information. You know?
Who do you want to invite?
I mean, there's people that I have a second connection to that are like
what's an
Records,
example?
that are Dave Ratt, an owner of he did live sound for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, and so I'd love to get him on. He actually has a YouTube channel of his own, so it could probably be some sort of collaboration opportunity. But you know,
Dave
he's got way
Ratt?
more subscribers. Dave Ratt, like the animal, R-A-T.
Got it.
Yeah. He's got way more subscribers than me. How do I make it appealing for him to spend his time doing that, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think that it's a great vision. I think people would so you're talking about having an interview show and you could just bring him on like Zoom or something like that, right?
Yeah.
See, I think and it makes sense too, because sometimes it's like maybe the fear of reaching out and whatnot, but like, dude, your biggest video has like 6K views and his keynote for Sound Summit only has like 2,000. So not to say that, but like I guess he's not as out of reach maybe as you would think. And for him to come on and do something like this with some headphones, I actually think in this particular case, he would be like flattered and pumped. And a lot of times people that are successful are deeply passionate about passing that along. Like people reach out to us to do podcasts and bring me on for interview for YouTube tips or like even their school projects and stuff. I've done hundreds, probably like 150, 200 of those, especially when it's a young person. I'm like, for sure, man, like I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for the mentors and people that poured into me. So it's in one aspect, I would go to daveratt.com, just write him a short but nice email where speaking gigs, okay, other websites, Dave Wright seminar info, because you're going to click here to request a seminar. That's probably what I would do.
I mean, in this particular case, I'm connected with him on Facebook, so maybe that's the route there. And then
just to go straight up.
People, maybe I could just leverage my network and ask those people to ask. So.
Yeah, and I would say a couple things to do is I've heard people call this like the Dream 50 or the Dream 100. Step one, make a list on Google Sheets or somewhere else of your Dream 50 or your Dream 100 people you want to have on this new show. And I think it's a brilliant idea. Number two is make columns of, maybe their Twitter, their social media, their email. Make a box that says maybe, Ryan knows him, like whatever. So you can think about following up. Number three, create your resources where you always want to personalize the messaging. You absolutely do not want to just like spam everyone, and you wouldn't do that. But you maybe make a template of your key ask, like, hey, this is what I'm asking you to do. Here's an example of one of my videos. Of course, lead with your strongest, video and say like, yeah, I'm teaching people audio. And here's an example. One of my videos got 6,500 views, and they see that. And then a couple other things. Think about your branding and where you're coming from on a professional level. Include in that email, I want you to know, I hope that during that call, we can promote anything for you, because you always want to tune into the channel that everybody operates on, WIFM, what's in it for me. And so when you email that person, it's, whatever it is, but you go, I realize I've just a growing channel, but I'd be happy to promote your music or your seminars or your whatever. Of course, we could talk about that. Start by asking maybe for a shorter interview. Like there's no reason it needs to be like an hour. You might just say, it'd be awesome. Really what it'd be cool to do about a 30-minute interview. Just jump on 5 minutes before to audio check. And that might be email too. So I do 2 emails. One has just kind of that basic invite. The second one's like, sure, man, what are the details? You just go, okay, hey, and then eventually hit up your Dream 50 and hit everybody up on the list. And not like every day, but like hit everybody on the list. And then because you've organized it, come back to it a month later and see who said yes. A lot of people are going to say yes. If somebody doesn't reply, don't take it as a no, take it as they didn't see it. Because chances are they didn't. Like sometimes people are like, Sean, how can you've not seen whatever? I'm like, well, number one, when I check out from work, I really check out from work because I value family. So I can't constantly answer comments and answer emails. But number two, even with a team and help, we literally, some stuff slips through the cracks. We get like thousands of messages every day when you add up all the platforms. So a lot of times for people, it's not a no. It's like, try again. I didn't see it. And even if it is a no, even if the person did ignore it, sometimes the persistence of someone wears me down. And I'm like, yeah, man, I love the hustle. I love I love that you didn't just try once. You've been trying. I see that you've been kind of like active. Here's a tip: be active on his social media, commenting on his channel, not as like a last minute tactic, but on your Dream 150. That's why you stay engaged in their communities. If they're launching a project and they do a video where they say, this is especially true in my niche, if it's an author, if I know they're launching a book, I had someone say no for a year. And then they were launching a book. And then guess what? I asked if they'd come on Video Influencers. And guess what they said? Yep. Because I said, hey, want to come on and promote your new book? And they were like, that's the season I'm in. I'm doing radio. So when you are studying the Dream 50, you're paying attention to what they're doing, you'll get a lot of yeses. And my thought is you could fill a weekly show up. And the cool thing is that'll take a little bit of hustle, stuff you could do on your break and stuff in terms of email and follow up and response. But eventually your queue will be so full that you could have a weekly show where you're bringing on a brilliant idea. People like Dave Ratt, and it becomes even like a podcast or just kind of a video podcast that's on YouTube. And then what happens, the kind of final thing, and there's maybe other nuances as well that we would do, because I guess I've had interview shows now for almost 10 years, like over 10 years. Think International was an interview show back in 2010, of course, Video Influencers. The final thing is that it'll compound. Eventually, you're able to say, here's some of our past guests. Here's some of the things that have happened. You can multiply some of that content. 30-minute interview with Dave, Ratt. For 5 minutes, he talks about something very specific that could have a very powerful title on YouTube. So you chop that clip out, and that clip gets like 25,000 views. So you start sharing that one to other people. And you're like, yeah, I've had Dave Ratt from the, Red Hot Show, whatever. And you just compound it. So really with Video Influencers, we kind of had two things going for us. One, we had Benji knew some YouTube friends, but one of our first interviews was like Nikki Phillippi. And the reason I knew her, it was just super organic. She had, she has 1.3 million subscribers. And like 2 years earlier, it was just being active, like being true fans. This 5 years ago was one of our first ever Video Influencers interviews, 32,000 views. Like, how'd you know Nikki Phillippi? Well, 2 years earlier, she came to Vegas and did a meetup. And Sonia and I went, like, hung out, met her. So like, it was like literally 2 years later that I was like, hey, we're starting like an interview show. And by the way, to the level of, yeah, like come over and shoot it. Like, what the heck? And now I'm like in a 1 million subscriber YouTuber's house. It's all about kind of that consistency, that biz dev. Then by the way, today I'm like super close to Shalene Johnson. I've worked with her. Like now we've gone snowboarding. The reason she even said yes to an interview, fitness celebrity, didn't know me. Same thing. I was like, yeah, come over and shoot in my gym. I was like, what the heck are you? I tweeted her on Twitter. She goes, well, I saw that like whoever this 1 million subscriber Nikki Phillippi person like lets you in her house. So I figured you weren't going to kill me. And so it's just like stacking that like video after video, relationship after relationship, adding value, thinking about what you can do to add value to what they're doing, and being willing to, if like, it's not a no if they don't reply. And when you got a Dream 50, you'll get your first 5 and then you'll get another 3. And then eventually someone will say yes. And then eventually your Dream 50 becomes 150 people and you start compounding and it becomes a massive snowball.
Yep. It's just like anything, right? You start small and then one success opens doors to other opportunities. So that's great advice. I just got to start. I never reached out to him. That's the ticket. You got to start. So
no doubt. And I feel like, especially in that case, I have a feeling like he'll be like, for sure, man. Like I'd be down to jump on Zoom and just, like be flattered. He's probably like somewhat independently wealthy and chilling and making music. I don't even know. And so literally like tomorrow, like just jump on Zoom from my house. By the way, this is the era. And if I can speak to our whole community, this is a major era to make connections like that, because people are so locked down. People can't travel. Their schedules were canceled. And so, man, don't sleep right now. And I'm talking to everybody in the Think Media, Think Marketing community. Like, again, people, my entire schedule this year got cleared in terms of getting on planes and speaking at events. And we've personally filled it up with like challenge and hustling and wartime leaders and like leaning in at a major level. But nevertheless, like been on podcasts and been on stuff. So if I can encourage everybody, this is a great strategy that Kyle is talking about. It's a great way to add value, build your network. There's so many powerful things that come from this. Let me know in the comments too if you'd ever want to see more training on like starting an interview show. I guess we probably at this point have interviewed 400 people and done like 400 different YouTube videos between our original project, Think International, and everything else. But don't waste this time, because some people they'll be busy in 2021, but in 2020, they could be a guest on your show. So anyways, man, hey, I appreciate you. And thank you so much for coming on Coffee with Cannell.
I appreciate it too. And just like Kathy, I have to let you know that, you've helped so many people. There have been times where I've felt like everything was raining down on me, but this channel has let me know that I'm not powerless. If I've got some time before bedtime, early in the morning, if I've got technology to work with, then, I can change my situation. So thank you.
You're welcome, Kyle. I appreciate those kind words. I believe in you, man. Literally what you're doing in your channel and the momentum you have, it's looking really good. Just keep building. Let's catch up in a year when you're at 55,000 subscribers.
All right. Will do.
Cool,
Thanks,
man.
Sean.
Take care.
You too.
Man, Coffee with Cannell. Who's one person you want to interview? You don't even actually have to do an interview show. Just bring an interview on your channel. Like, it could just add value to your audience. By the way, another word for it is collab. It's just a collab. Back in the olden days when we left our houses and went into public, I remember we were at a conference and Heather did this collab with a homeschool mom named Christy, and just kind of ran into her like, hey, I know who you are. Like, you also have a channel. And this video was shot by Mel on a smartphone. I don't think there was a microphone outside of like a hotel. And I know we can't go outside, but it's even better because we can jump on Zoom. We can jump on StreamYard. This is StreamYard, y'all. Like, this is not hard to do this. Like, this is a webcam. This is a USB mic. You got an internet connection, throw a light up, do in front of a window. And just like I just brought on Kyle and Kathy, you could bring people on and do an interview show or bring a couple people on. StreamYard, yes, lets you do 10 people on screen right now. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's a lot of voices. How do you have a 10-way conversation? Yeah, and if you want to learn more about StreamYard, I think a lot of these people are kind of our partners and friends or affiliates. And so we have a resource called thinkmediatools.com. And on there, you can see various discounts. And just like, if you're like, hey, what software do you use? What's the stuff that you use? This is our tool guide, video editing tools that we use. I mentioned VidChops earlier. You can actually get 10% off on their already great prices if you're sick of editing and you just want like an editor to help you. And it's very affordable in terms of editing, especially for business owners, and just a lot of different resources. So all that is at thinkmediatools.com. I do have a meeting, but I think we can get one more in here, and then we will kick the tires and light the fires. How do I pronounce your name? Ferdos? Give me an unmute your microphone for me.
Yes, it's Ferdos.
Ferdos, welcome to Coffee with Cannell. Where are you streaming from, and what do you do?
I am in Los Angeles, and I'm an expert oncology nurse. I work at West Coast premier cancer research hospital, voted #1 in U.S. News and World Report. I won't give the name, but you can look it up and you'll know which one's #1 in the West Coast. I was the chair of the Nurse Practice Council there. And it's just kind of a scary time right now in medicine and nursing. And I'm sorry, I'm so nervous right now. I've been watching and learning from you for months and months on end. And I just decided I also owned a very successful restaurant, Indian restaurant here in LA. And I decided it was time to kind of combine my research skills and my medicine skills and combine them with my restaurant skills and do a channel. So my channel is called Shake the Kitchen. And the concept is we're shaking things up. We're teaching people the research and the medicine behind the ingredients that we use. How can it help you? People on chemotherapy, they lose taste and sensation. How can you have high flavored foods so that you can have that back because they don't want to eat? And then when they don't want to eat, they feel even sicker because food doesn't taste like anything. They might eat, Cheetos hot chips, but that's not nutritious. So I'm trying to combine, all of those things. If you're keto dieting, people don't understand, the research behind it and how can it help you as an individual. If you're doing intermittent fasting, which is new, I've been doing it for 30 years as a Muslim. So there's a lot of value in terms of my experience and my education that I wanted to share through my channel. And being a Muslim woman, being in front of the TV, it's been kind of a difficult process to get going. So even though I've been in the program for about 6 months learning and educating myself, I've really only started posting about 3 weeks ago. And my family's kind of catching on. I have 300 family members within a mile of my house. I swear to you, kid you not, I could have 300 subscribers today if I shared this information. But it's a little hard, like I said, it's a little hard being a woman and being a Muslim woman, because it's like, well, why do you need to do that? You're an oncology nurse, you're this, you're that, but they don't realize the safety that I'm, jeopardizing being in that space and how I'm maybe, sharing that with my family. And I don't want to do that right now. I want to kind of be able to maybe a year or 2 years from now, if it makes sense, to be able to just move into that business and maybe away from medicine for a little bit of time.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much for jumping on Coffee with Cannell. Thank you for your service and your mission and your love for people to be in medicine, and prayers for you and your friends too, and just everybody. Like our frontline workers are absolutely a blessing and hugely needed. And I can't even imagine the overwhelm and of what's happening with this whole COVID season. What is, and I muted you because of a little bit of background noise, but we can unmute here in a second. What is the exact channel? Was it Shake the Kitchen?
Yes, Shake the Kitchen, SHAKE, the kitchen, like all one word.
Okay, great. Just having trouble finding it. Let's see. And do you know if I'm doing anything wrong? Shake the Kitchen. So I'm going to look at channels. SHAKE. And if a channel's new, that's exactly how it's spelled. Have you done a channel URL yet? I mean, you also maybe could send me, I don't know if you're on your phone, the link in the private StreamYard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Try to do that. And then, but let me know, how can I help? What's your question? Oh no. Probably sending the link though. She could be back. Hey, Coffee with Cannell, we'll give Ferdos a chance to jump back on here. What's an excuse you're busting this week? What's an excuse you're refusing to let hold you back this week? We talked about 6 myths, 6 limitations, 6 excuses. And of course, are we saying that those are sometimes not even legitimate? No, they can be real. But let me know in the comments what your excuses are and which ones you're choosing. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to get results. All right, Ferdos. Thank you for the link. Yes. And what's your question?
Thank you. So my question is that, I have a little bit of concern with, being someone who's in a healthcare kinds of things. And I don't know if it's something I need to worry about, or when you look at my thumbnails, I kind of feel like having me in them presenting my food would be nice, but I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on that. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Awesome. Well, one of the first things I'm going to say is I want the community to kind of encourage you, if you will, a little bit as it pertains to how they would feel. Because I think that sometimes we can get in our own head. So you can watch the replay on any of the Facebook pages or the live chat in Think Marketing. I think that there is just something powerful about the YouTube community, about being you, leading with your beauty, leading with your culture, leading with your values, leading with who you are. Remember, it's the difference. My friend Rory Vaden said it brilliantly on Instagram this week. And this kind of goes into our myths today. It goes into our challenges. And he said this: don't differentiate yourself based on what you do. Differentiate yourself based on who you are. So if we're honest, this cooking channel is not, what you do is not radically different than there's other people even doing that. But who you are, not only on things like being Muslim and the dress and like those details, that's unique, but even just you're also unique. I'm sure your humor, your personality, like your incredible acumen as a nurse, your knowledge, like what you're bringing, all of the medical knowledge you're bringing in and how that's going to help people with anti-inflammatory properties. Like you could just bring who you are. And that is that major point of difference. So I want to encourage you to amplify that. I want to encourage you. I don't think actually that you could experiment with putting yourself in the thumbnail, but for that tip, I want to say success leaves clues, and that in most cases, when it comes to food, the best performing food thumbnails are the result the person's going to get when cooking. See, like lamb curry is giant pictures of lamb curry. You know, if we were to say asparagus or something, okay, I don't even know how to spell stuff. Asparagus. You know, you're going to mostly have asparagus unless you're Gordon Ramsay and maybe you're recognizable. So it's like the actual, so you could experiment, but like success leaves clues. Other cooking channels, I think, lead with that food. I don't even think you necessarily need these words around the outside because the words are in the title. You can't see those really small words. So you already have this, like, man, I want to eat that lamb curry. Like, show me that full screen. If this is the result the video is going to get me, I want these spicy deviled eggs, keto. You have a lot of opportunity. I mean, you're already getting 182 views on your first video 2-3 weeks ago without telling your 300 family members. So I think that should be encouraging too. I know you'd want to, but that's absolutely insane. It's like your third video in. I'm reminded of when I started, I was not getting 182 videos. And so, I hope that a lot of that just encourages you to jump in, punch fear in the face, and not overthink it. And the other thing I want that is interesting, which is amazing, by the way, that you have 300 family members within a mile of you, is I remember when I was first starting YouTube in Marysville, Washington, small town, hour north of Seattle. And actually, whether it was friends, whether it was family, whether it's people at my church, I don't want to insinuate that I didn't have like kind of a tight knit group that was supportive around me. Like my friend Jeff Moores, and a mentor in my life. He was very encouraging. And actually, nobody was like discouraging actually in a major way, but nobody understood. And they were all mystified. And there was a level of like, what are you doing? I don't understand it. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't get it. I would want to sit down and have lunch with a friend, and I would kind of want to geek out talking about YouTube or building something or my dreams. And like, it was almost like there was like glass over the person's eyes. And they'd be like, well, did you see the game though? Like, did you see the game recently? And there was like a disconnect between my dreams and ambition. And let us know if you're watching this on Coffee with Cannell, if you sometimes feel alone or isolated or misunderstood, or like those around you don't see what you see, or they don't hold the vision. And what I want to encourage you with that is I kind of actually want to encourage you. You almost, when you add up these two videos, you got over 300 people that have watched your videos right now, you know, that are not your family members. And that's kind of what I learned. I was like, wow, I'm actually connecting online with people who already understand. Like, I'm connecting online with people who do care, because YouTube will bring me to is the power to build that community. And then it shouldn't, I don't believe that should create division. It was just that, like, I started at one point, I went to a few holiday gatherings or family gatherings, and I would sort of like try and talk about what I did, but eventually I kind of became cool with it. I was like, how's the game? You know, like I just was like, this is kind of the vibe here. Like, that's great. And I definitely looked though to link arms and connect just like this, to stay connected, like communities like Think Media, Coffee with Cannell, or Video Ranking Academy, like whatever. I looked and I was like, okay, let me like get that support, that information in books and podcasts, and then let me support and be around friends and family. And over time, I'm 10 years into this. I got 1 million subscribers. Like I got a gold play button now. It wasn't literally a couple of weeks ago when I was on CNBC for like sort of the first time with a few people. They were like, oh, Sean like has like kind of a real job. Like, I guess if like, and it wasn't until like traditional media, which by the way, you don't need traditional media to validate new media is destroying or surpassing traditional media. But so I don't know, kind of went on a rant there, but just to kind of encourage you with, I think I know your ambition is so inspiring to me because you're already an expert nurse. You're already doing it actually is kind of a legitimate, like confusing myth or limitation. Like, well, you already got a great job. Like, why don't you just do that? Like, why would you do this too? Why are you doing? And don't be surprised, you know, that people don't understand. Don't expect people to understand your grind when God didn't give them your vision. Like you got a vision for 3 years from now, you got a vision for side income, and you got a lot of opportunity with the knowledge in your head, getting 1% better with every upload, with how you're going to use food to heal people and really help people, especially recovering from cancer and other things. It's really going to be massive. And again, I think everybody, when you go back and read the comments, you're going to see that there's going to be plenty of people that are like, no, I want to see somebody I can relate with, or I can connect with, or somebody that is different, or somebody that's like me. Your vibe will attract your tribe. And don't misunderstand me. You'll get criticism and you probably, I'm sure you already have. I'm sure you have already had to deal with judgment or like people being rude and, you know, like at the hospital. Like I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like people that are absolute jerks and people that, you know, we just need to pray for them, right? Like they're not loving and embracing of others. And everyone's got opinions. And so by putting yourself out on YouTube, you might've saw the FOPO, fear of other people's opinions. That it doesn't mean that, of course, everyone's going to be pumped, but just as much as some people will be like, you know, why are you wearing that on your head? Other people will be like, man, her confidence, that's somebody, wow, her wisdom, wow, her beauty, her knowledge. And so that's kind of what I would say. Let me know if there's like any follow-up questions to that, or if that kind of is helpful in terms of your channel.
It's totally helpful. You know, it's hard, you know, in this day and age to sometimes kind of separate yourself from that. It's always something at the back of your mind, and it's something at the back of my mind all the time. And I always have to, you know, think about it and be concerned about it. And so when I started this channel, it was still there, you know, and I just wasn't sure how I wanted to present myself, but I have so much value and so much information that I want to share, you know, award-winning recipes for my restaurant and all the oncology research experience from over 15 years. It needs to come out and people need to know so they can feel better and feel better from the research, not just, you know, someone who doesn't have the medical experience, someone who really has done both the medical and the restaurant.
100%. And that's, I believe in you full. I mean, when you combine your acumen and your experience and the things you've done, it's a matter of bringing that on YouTube. I want to encourage you with one final thing. Don't stop creating now in light of this tip, but I want to challenge you to keep leveling up your production value. Meaning, you know, obviously you can probably say that the camera's a little shaky. Even that's maybe a tripod or so, like it's a little bit hazy. And here's the deal, like this video can do amazing. So I want you creating with exactly what you have right now for as long as it takes, or as long as until the next move up. And I also believe that creativity does work best in constraints. We talked to Kathy earlier, and sometimes when we get into maybe upping our production value, it actually slows us down. But summary goal is just work on getting 1% better with every upload. Like maybe I'd be happy to see another 30 to 50 videos that look kind of just like these, like hitting different topics and hitting titles, but be thinking about always leveling up a little bit, because that is certainly one thing I know, you know, as we start this video and there's kind of like the framing and the haziness kind of the lighting and whatnot. Even just pulling more better results out of your, like that's a shot composition thing right there. You know, we're seeing all of this and not very much of you. And that's what we're here with Think Media and Think Marketing and all the training. We're here to help. You know, once we get into this actually starts looking very good, very sharp. The photography looks very sharp. The teaching looks very sharp. But yeah, I hope that encourages. Small tweaks lead to giant peaks. And so over time, that's true, I think, for every channel. But with, you know, just like at the restaurant, it's presentation. It's the presentation of the food. It's the presentation, not just the food itself, presentation.
Mhm.
Hey, I appreciate you. And thank you so much for coming on Coffee with Cannell. Was this helpful today?
Absolutely. It totally busted all the myths for me and gave me so much confidence because, again, you know, being a woman, being Muslim, you know, those things are really difficult to go against. And my husband, my kids, everybody is so supportive to me now. And yes, I finally have the nice mic that you suggest and the lighting and all of that stuff. So you'll be so proud of my next video. It's going to look really good.
Let's go. Firdos, I appreciate you so much. Grateful for you. And thanks for coming on Coffee with Cannell.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all. Coffee with Cannell, the weekly Q&A show where we bring you on and answer your questions about video, social media, business, and getting your mind right, your grind on. We are killing excuses. And if you're just joining and you haven't checked out the replay, watch, because at the beginning, we busted 6 different myths related to YouTube. Today's episode is brought to you by our free YouTube masterclass. You can watch that at tubeinfluence.com, link in the description below. We have a advanced group online course and coaching program called Video Ranking Academy. But out of that session, if you want one free session from that program, go to tubeinfluence.com. You could type tubeinfluence.com into your browser, on Safari, on your phone, or if you're watching this on Think Marketing YouTube channel, link in the description, or we'll also drop that in the YouTube comments below. And you can watch that for free. At the end of it, you'll hear more about that program and get any questions that you want answered about that. But listen, if it's not right for you, it's all good. Like, we just want you to know that there's a next step you could take to get focused, strategic YouTube training, as well as group coaching. It's really where we break down our proprietary process, where we teach the 7 R's of overexposing pieces of paper. Oh, there you go. The 7 VRA R's, you can kind of see them there. And we go through this process and go deep in all of these. So start at tubeinfluence.com, totally free. And listen, stay subscribed, stay engaged to Think Marketing, the Think Media channel. We're there to help you get your lighting right, get your cameras right, get your settings right, get your YouTube tips, and get your mind right. If you haven't listened to this week's Think Marketing podcast, we're doing an episode about money mindsets. So we are in your corner, whatever stage in the journey you're at. I understand that we're in tough times right now. A lot of people are, whether it's unemployment or going through hard times, like, stay with our community. You know, if you can't join Video Ranking Academy, that's cool. Like, stay connected to the community. And I really believe that you're going to see, we're going to deliver so much value, so much strategy, that you just know that when the time is right, we're here for you. We're there. We're grinding. Tony's doing this tip of the day. We got the VRA show happening. We got the Facebook community, all that stuff's happening. But in the meantime, we're also doing this show and all of our other shows to help you go further, faster, building your influence with video and with YouTube. Hit the like button if you got value out of today. Drop in the comments, question of the day. What is one excuse you are refusing to let stay an excuse? I don't have enough time. Now you just got to make time. I love what Kyle said. He said, man, it's probably priorities for me. I just got to prioritize. Yeah, got to prioritize. Someone took my ideas. No, it's proof there's a market. I don't have the talent. No, I can level up. I'm going to take it's about authenticity and value. I don't have money. I can get a loan. I'm not suggesting you get a loan, but that's what I did. That's how I got some stuff. I went to prosper.com. Affiliate link. I'm just kidding. They probably have a sick affiliate. They do actually. They have a sick affiliate program. It's like a little crowdfunded loan place. And please, I'm not suggesting you take on debt. I just knew that I could work at Red Robin Extra if my video business didn't work out. and I could pay down the loan. I got a $7,000 loan and bought gear and a computer and all the gear I needed to start a video production business. What is my point? Not that you should get a loan to buy gear. My point is that it's not about your resources. It's about your resourcefulness. While you're making excuses, somebody else is getting results because they're finding a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I know the will, your vision, your passion, what you're fighting for, what you're building for, the opportunity that you see. Excuses will always be there for you. Opportunity won't. Choose discipline, not regret. And check the replay if you want to see us go a little bit deeper on crushing excuses. Love you. Thank you so much for being a part of Coffee with Cannell today. I can't wait till next week when we hang out again. And in the meantime, keep crushing it, keep smashing it, keep rocking it, keep blowing it up, keep destroying. Okay, like the longest end. Okay, I appreciate you. See you in the next one. Peace.